Welcome home. Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Epoxy, and I've been wanting to share my speculation with all of you about Bethesda's 2018 E3 that I've had for the last month now, and I've shared it with my friends, but I've been holding back on sharing it here on YouTube as it's a little out there compared to what people are expecting from this year's Bethesda E3 announcements, especially Bethesda Game Studios, to be a little more specific, as it doesn't align with anyone's speculation that I've heard myself. Everyone's been saying Starfield, Starfield, Starfield. So to put the main idea out there, I don't think Starfield is going to be announced at Bethesda's E3 this year. But I do believe we're going to be seeing a new Fallout spin-off title. Not Fallout 5, but a spin-off like New Vegas. Now, before you absolutely shit on my personal speculation down in the comments, it's a little more thought out than just a simple belief. There is a little history to back up my speculation. So let's go all the way back to the release of Fallout 3. What came after that? A Fallout game or an Elder Scrolls game? A Fallout game. Fallout New Vegas came out 1 year before the release of Skyrim. So what came out after Skyrim? A Fallout game or an Elder Scrolls game? An Elder Scrolls game. It may not be one everyone loved, but the Elder Scrolls Online, a massive title, did release before the next Fallout entry. Fallout 4. So what's going to release next? A new Fallout game that is a proven franchise, or a brand new IP we know absolutely nothing about? I personally believe that this pattern will continue moving into the future as it makes the most sense for Bethesda. Release a spin-off to tie people over until the next main entry in the series, since Bethesda Game Studios will be working on the next big title for the other franchise. It makes the wait a million times more bearable for fans. Like, just imagine if New Vegas wasn't released. Imagine the wait between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. Imagine if Elder Scrolls Online and all of its expansions, Skyrim Special Edition, and ESL weren't released. So what else backs up this speculation? Well, there is the fact that it was confirmed by Pete Hines and Todd Howard that 2 big games are in development and set to be released before the Elder Scrolls 6. We've already speculated that Starfield is one of those titles, thanks to a trademark by ZeniMax, and the fact that we know at least one of those 2 big titles before the Elder Scrolls 6 is a new IP. But we have no idea what the other title is. You may be questioning the fact that they were talking about how both of the big games are developed by Bethesda Game Studios and how they would be able to manage pumping out 2 big games back to back. Well, let's just think about the massive growth of Bethesda Game Studios. They've more than doubled in working power since after the release of Fallout 4, according to Todd Howard. We mainly know about this as well because they added on 2 development teams to Bethesda Game Studios. They no longer just have Bethesda Game Studios in Maryland, but they now have a team in Montreal and one in Austin. And if you didn't know, BGS Austin used to be Battle Cry Studios, another ZeniMax development team. Again, that's not it. If we recall back to the Todd Howard interview by AIAS, he discussed the animation engine for 2 current projects being developed. Why is this interesting? Well, he did mention that their project that is closer to release is using their old animation engine, the one that's used in Fallout 4. He also mentioned that their next project will be using an entirely new animation engine, one that is currently being worked on. And the reason this makes me further believe that the next title is indeed a Fallout spin-off rather than a new IP, presumably Starfield, is the fact that they're more likely to develop a more polished animation engine for a brand new IP just to show it off. You want people to be blown away with your new IP, not have it using an outdated animation engine that, let's be honest, looks absolutely terrible nowadays. That is currently one of Bethesda Game Studios' weakest points in their engine, and it would make most sense, at least to me, to use the current animation engine for an already proven franchise that is guaranteed to sell. Think about it. Would BGS really want to push forward with a new IP with an old animation engine if they're already working on a new one? So what about Starfield? When will Starfield be a thing, or whatever Bethesda Game Studios' new IP is? Well, if we go off my basis for speculation earlier in the video, I believe Starfield will be announced and released next year. 1 year after the Fallout spinoff being announced and released this year. That would keep the pattern going and would shrink the gap between Fallout 4 and Fallout 5, giving us another Fallout title. Again, this pattern has been going on since after Fallout 3 was released, so it's really hard to tell whether or not it's going to continue being a pattern or whether it's just a coincidence. I personally don't think it's coincidence. I personally believe it's the way that they like to do things, releasing the big entry in the franchise and then doing a spin-off. Whether the Fallout spin-off would be developed by BGS, I can't say for sure. Even if it's another development team, I think it will be this year that we see another Fallout title, and we will see another BGS title next year. My speculation is that is when we'll see the brand new IP with the brand new animation engine. But that's my crazy speculation for today. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear everything you have to say about my personal speculation here. And heck, if you've got anything to add that backs up my speculation, feel free to do that as well. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, please smack that like button down below and subscribe to join the good fights if you haven't already. It would be super greatly appreciated as always. And until next time, this is Epoxy signing off.